shop. You can get the story there on page 15 and read more. Now, jumping on to page 16, we have stock exchange. We have this company, Fox, set to launch free Netflix rival. Netflix has dominated the market so much. Netflix and Disney Plus, ITV, X, and BBC have been the major players in the field. But what Fox is bringing on page, that is the Tubi. For those who love movie viewers, you can read the story. Tubi is coming up to give competition to the Netflix and some other companies. That story is there on page 16. Story by BBC reporter, that is Daily Kenya. Let me welcome Mr. Felix, known as Jacondo, to take us through the world news on page 17.
Yes, thank you, Isaiah. Welcome back to world news. As we say, court says that Trump has some immunity. Dissenting Justice Sotomayor warns of nightmare scenarios after Trump ruling that grants presidential presumptive immunity. That is from Washington, D.C. on Tuesday. United States Supreme Court on Monday ruled that former President Donald Trump, the presumptive Republican nominee, had some immunity from the criminal charges for trying to reverse the 2020 elections results, which makes a trial before the elections unlikely. The court, which has a 6-3 consecutive majority that includes 3 justices appointed by Trump himself, voted 6-3 along ideological lines, ordering the lower courts to reconsider the case and determine which allegations cannot be prosecuted. You can have your own time and read the story about the Trump, and then there is a picture there of the sitting president, that is Joe Biden, and the immunity that they claim that Trump have been having, while questions of presidential immunity have arisen before, such as during Richard Nixon's Watergate scandal and Bill Clinton's sexual assault lawsuit. This is the first time a former US president has been indicated on criminal charges. Find your time and read about that. Down the pillar we have Netanyahu says Israel is final stage of eliminating Hamas. We both have heard of the stories. That is the battle between the Israelites
and the Hamas.
And the Hamas, you all know the story. Find your time and read. But we see they are saying that Israel is in final stage of eliminating the Hamas. We know how the war has been, which has really caused economic disruption throughout all the nations, because most people have been depending on both parties involved on the war for their economic growth. Yes, Isaiah.
You can see down there we have 9 Sudanese children killed in paramilitary drone attack. You can read that story whereby 9 children were killed and 11 others injured in an air raided by the paramilitary rapid support forces in El Fasher, the capital city of North Darfur state in western Sudan. A local resistance committee announces on Monday there has been attack there. Remember, Sudan is well known for wars, that is down there. And just there you see Russian UN envoy warns against arming Ukraine. There's been a prolonged war between the Russians and the Ukraine, and the Russian's ambassador is now warning other countries who are out to arm Ukraine to facilitate them as they fight their wars. You get more of the story from New York City. It is here also on the People Daily. Grasp your paper and read. Now moving on to page 18. Eureka, listen. What is artificial intelligence? Wishing why it is a problem. You can read that story. The artificial intelligence is slowly taking the center stage in technology sphere. However, companies are being accused of abusing its use to hoodwink customers. When you talk about artificial intelligence, there's a lot that it entails. You can get the story there. That is on page 18.
Just briefly down there, we have Tech Initiative deliberate about empowering girls in Kenya. That is, Nairobi City is undergoing a new revolution that is shaping the tech world through life learning skills in the digital space that is for young women and girls through the Code and Connect initiative by Nairobi's Trust. So nowadays the girls are taking it on, and girl child is well taken care of in Kenya, as you can see. Only problem I say is that nobody's talking about boy child in Kenya. Everything is just revolving around girl child. Dream girls, there we go. I'm a girl of what? There we go. We are world, everybody's revolving around a girl child, and we see now the Tech Initiative deliberate about empowering girl childs in Kenya too. And there is a picture there of participants going through the space of a training organized by Microsoft and the Nairobi's Dubbed Code and Connect. You can read that story at your own time and at your own pace.
Moving on to page 19, the spies.
Yeah.
Colorful and daring. You remember the Ugandan most famous artist, gospel artist is there. You'll get more information. She had a chat with Alfaya Onyango on her style and other fashion interest. You can get the story there. That's the story and interview story. You can get there on page 19. Moving to page 20. We have there Beatbox.
The live music mix with DJ Blackie.
I wonder whether it is our DJ.
You can confirm that in K24. That is from Friday. That is 4:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. Have your time and watch.
Yes. Now moving on to page 21, we have 10. Now allow me to just go through this for you to understand. I'm just going through the summary. With many people currently going through financial hardship in Kenya, one has to live within their means. Every spending decision has to be accounted for. If you want to pay affordable, if you want to pay off debt or save money for a rainy day, it is then crucial to get a grip of your finance in order to achieve the intended goal. Right now, the story by Faith Masharia. You got to read that. It is a wonderful story that will help you to know how to spend.
Isaiah, I think we should just give our viewers some few tips here. I see the writer gave us very serious tips here. Handy tips to survive in tight budget. Let's just give it a clue of what is written there. Number one, save in any way possible. Number two, separate needs from wants. By the way, that's been a big deal. People doesn't know how to save between, how to differentiate between a want and a need. I think Isaiah will tell us one day how to differentiate between these two, a want and a need, because that is where we always miss the track. Number three, buy in bulk. If you have to buy something that will be using, ensure you buy it in bulk. Number four, learn simple hacks and use surplus and leftovers. You know, nowadays most people doesn't use leftovers.
Yes, actually they are just thrown there.
They're just thrown anywhere. Then be realistic, resourceful and resilient. Start a side hustle. Do not depend on one thing. If one business goes down and you are dependent on a single hustle and it goes down, be sure it goes down with you too. So it is upon you to have a side hustle. The next one is open a savings account. No matter how little it is, ensure you save something on it. Number 9 is cut unnecessary expenses. That is very important. Cut unnecessary expenses. It is not a matter that you must use all of your income on some expenses. If it is not necessary, just cut it off. It will save you during this tight budget. And the last one says what, Isaiah?
The last one says cut down transport costs. Now, as we look into this, just briefly on cut unnecessary expenses. Now, the research is out that ladies spend on unnecessary. Ladies don't have budget, and they say men are stingy. I wonder. I don't think men are stingy.
What do you think?
Men prioritize what they do. They prioritize what they buy. They budget with what they have. So they don't do impulse buying. So
that do you want to say that do men go for wants or men go for needs?
Men go for wants.
What is the difference between wanting and need?
Now we just said that I will have to elaborate there. Make sure you attend my English class.
Attend the English class, our viewers.
And you'll be able to get more of that. Now, moving on to page 22, family fusion. Abdominal message that is ending lives of pregnant women in Kilifi. I was just going through this story, and you find that most of us are not informed, and most of us do things without consultation. This tradition has been passed from one generation to another and has had its advantage and disadvantages. However, counties are working towards eliminating the practice that has become harmful to expectant mothers in Kenya. Now, the story there by Sophie Njoka. In 2023, when Judith Wanja discovered that she was pregnant, she knew her dream of becoming a mother was finally going to become a reality. However, some decisions that she made after being advised by friends cut short her dreams. She still regrets asking advice from people who were not professionals. Wanje reveals that during her third trimester, she developed a severe pain in her pelvic area. Now, if you read the story, you'll get there what happened to this lady. And this is a story that I believe most of us should read, especially ladies, to understand and to know what's next in case such a thing happens. What do you need to do? Read there. The story is on page 22. Now, moving to page 23, it is a continuation of the story that we've had. Read the story. The story is impactful and very, very much educative and informative. We are on page 24.
Page 24, relatively speaking, inner circle truth. Breaking barriers when women thrive in male-dominated fields.
Women these days, they do what men do.
And I heard them say that they do it better than how men can do it. I don't know. But you know, one thing I've realized with Isaiah is that women are so passionate, and when they decide to do something, they always give their best on it. I've seen that in most women, bigger percentage. While thousands of youths lament over lack of jobs in Kenya, some young women are taking up jobs that the society has for long categorized as men's. And there's a picture there, you'll see a lady undertaking a car wash job. And there is another one down there. I think she's a mechanic, if I'm not wrong. There is also a story of a one thriving as a cobbler. You know what a cobbler does.
Now, just on the story, I remember I had written a story about women on entrepreneurship will. It elaborates what women do on daily basis and how women are coming up and they're scaling heights to compete men and to override them. And as men, we have to be very, very careful. You can read that story on page 24. Now, moving on to page 25, taboo. Now, this one, Mr. Felix, I wish you could take this one. This is what women does. If you read this story, you'll be shocked. They believe it works. I don't know, but number one, it is not hygienic at all. Just take on the story and read for that the readers just the initial part so that we get that.
Viewers, let's go through this. Let's talk about it. That's how they call it. Taboo of gross things women do to keep men. Oh my God.
I read this.
I don't want to break your heart, men, but let's just go through this so that next time you be careful. When something is defined to be gross, that means its impact can really affect your life at a bigger percentage. Menstruation is one of topic that is not discussed openly. And weirdly enough, some women believe it is a powerful tool that can be used to stop their partners from going astray. You know, my grandma once told me this story, and today I see it. This is a story by Catherine Jerry. Let's see what Catherine is saying. Blood, especially blood associated with periods, has been taboo since time immemorial. But women have been confessing to using it to stop their husbands from philandering by incorporating few drops of it in their cookings. Oh
Now,
my God.
now, I don't know what to think.
It's okay.
When that crosses your mind that in the food you are eating, there's that.
No, don't say about it. Let me just read. Clueless about this secret. Clueless about it, the men enjoy the meals. Conversation on various social media platforms lay bare this reality. A spot check on women driving groups on Facebook reveals astounding magic spells women do their husbands, boyfriends, and other women husbands, and they are not afraid about of their kids, of their dark secrets coming out. Actually, they're proud that they can share the lessons with their fellow.
I never heard of, but again, in totality, it is not right. What women do to keep men. Just imagine what you're consuming.
And who came up with this idea of body fluids to be part of charm? How did it even get into the
point? We are in this generation whereby everything is different. I wonder how this works. You can read more of this story and you are going to be challenged.
Now listen to what Magda is saying. As he was asked, is period blood poisonous? The answer was, in fact, it has really worked on his energy and physical appearance.
Now look at that.
So I don't know whether Magda did that too, but it really worked for that guy, and now his physical appearance has changed and he has the energy. I don't know which type of energy is that.
Now you can get to read the story. It is there on page 25. Now, serial hot dog eating winner banned from competition over vegan deal. The world has become crazy, where people compete in everything,
even on eat.
Yes, like competition on eating hot dog. Wow.
Not so the last time I saw hot dog.
The winner has been banned.
For doing what?
You can read that.
Over vegan deal. Take your time, read the story.
Yes, on page 26 we have programs of different TV channels. You can go through that and find for yourself. Kameme TV K24. We have KBC, KTN, Citizen, and Nation TV. For those who love Sudoku, Sudoku is there.
Yeah.
You can have a chunk of it. Life like that. Life is like that.
It's always
yesterday
like that.
Yesterday we look at.
We had an encounter with
yes. Now look at this today. Look at this today. Although these are different talk, I always love this. Now look at what the man. Is it the lady or the man?
That is
the one on striped white strip black. What kind of school do you have to drop out of to graduate?
And the man is telling you, I can't tell. And what is his reply?
Parachute school.
Food for thought.
Food for thought, eh?
Food for thought.
Get to check that on page 26. Page 27 is just an advertisement.
Yeah. Dira ya Dunia, focus on Africa.
You get to check there, Dira ya Dunia, and focus on Africa, Monday to Friday, as from 8:30 p.m. and Monday to Friday, 10 p.m. That is only on K24 BBC News. Getting to sports. We say we are going to do sports.
People sport. This is our home. This is our hobby. This is what we like. Athletics in Kenya. Let's start from there. Age cheating rock. Athletics in Kenya.
Now the story is all about athletics who lie in their age.
You know, one thing I've done like that, people doesn't tell the reality about their age. Not even on athletics. This one is, any civil servants will tell you this. I had encounter with some of them. They'll tell you that that they were employed, they never gave the exact date so that they secure their working days. So it is about to rock it down because the disturbing trend threatens one of Kenya's most popular sports as federation officials vow to crack the whip. Athletics Kenya, that is the AK President Jackson Tuwei, has raised a red flag on age cheating in the sports after the association identified 26 irregularities on athletics documentations recently.
Imagine 26.
I don't want to go through that. That is so heartbreaking.
So you can read that story. You can read that story. The story is there. Now we have a filler there. Nairobi City Marathon